Hi YouTubes, welcome to a new video, and first I want to say Happy New Year and I hope you guys all had a great New Year's Eve. And today I wanted to show you the water marble manicure because I hear too many people say how difficult it is or that they tried it but it failed, and I wanted to show you guys all the basics, every step, so you can create your own water marble manicure. So today I'm going to start with the basics. I'm going to show you all the products that you need, and I'm going to show you a tutorial where I create the water marble design. You can create many different designs and there are different techniques, but those are for another video. The first thing that we need is a small cup or a small bowl. I'm using this small bowl, but I prefer to use the cups that you can just throw away once you're done because it's going to get dirty. So use a small cup if you're doing one nail at a time, and use a medium cup if you're doing multiple nails at once. Remember, the bigger the cup, the more nail polish that you need. So if you're just doing one nail, use a small cup because otherwise you're wasting polish. The second thing that you need is water, and you can just use tap water or you can use bottled water. It depends on the country where you're living if the tap water also works. Here it works really well, so I don't have to use bottled water. This is just trial and error. You can just try it and see for yourself. The water has to be room temperature because if it's too cold, the nail polish will dry too fast. Of course, we also need nail polishes, and it doesn't matter which brand you're using. It depends on the formula if a polish works well. So the best thing is to use one coaters or sometimes two coaters, and start with cream polishes because those work the best. To create the design, we need a needle, an orange wood stick or a toothpick or anything that you like. I am using a needle because they're really thin and also they are really easy to clean once we're done. For cleaning the nail polish in the water, I am always using an orange wood stick. I am also using sticky tape. I am going to tape it around my nail so I don't have to do that much cleanup when I'm done. First, you need to apply a base color. I am using white. Make sure that the polish is dry before you go on to the next step. You can also just use a base coat if you want. If you use a base color, make sure that it isn't too dark. When the polish touches the water and it's going to spread around, it gets really sheer. So when you apply your water marble onto your base color, it can be that the color will change. So that's why I prefer to use white or just a plain base color. Now apply sticky tape around your nail. This way you don't have to do that much cleanup once we're done. Be careful when you use Vaseline around your nail. I prefer to use sticky tape because if the Vaseline hits your polish, it can ruin your design. Now I'm going to apply the polish starting with Zoya Breezy. It's important that you apply the polish as close to the water as you can. Even closer than what I'm doing now, but because of my camera I can barely see what I'm doing. The best thing is to let the polish touch the water, not the brush, just the polish. The polish will spread. Then use the next color, again in the middle. We are going to create a bullseye as they call it. The pink color is Zoya Regan. The purple that I'm using is Zoya Mira. If you're having trouble with the polish spreading around the water, you can use the orange wood stick around the polish to help it spread. But it can also be that the water is just too cold or the polish doesn't work. Sometimes it can be that the polish works really well, but if you add another color, it doesn't work anymore. Sometimes two polishes just don't work together. That's why it's the best way to use polishes with the same formula. Continue on with the polishes. As you can see, the polish gets really sheer once it's in the water. That's why you don't want to use a really big cup, otherwise you need way too much nail polish. You need about 7 or 8 rounds of nail polish. It depends on the size of your cup. If you want, you can use a polish that you don't like for the first 2 rounds, because when we're going to create the design, we only use the polish in the middle, but not the polish on the outside. As you can see, the more polish that you're using, the more opaque it will be. We're almost ready to start making our design. Now make sure that you have your needle, toothpick or orange wood stick ready. Start with creating your design, and remember, never touch the rings on the outside, otherwise your whole design gets ruined. I am making a couple of strokes into the middle, this way it looks like a flower. When you're ready, you can put your nail into the water. It's important that you use a corner of 45 degrees and that you don't go too fast. This way you don't get any bubbles in your design. Keep your nail in the water. First we're going to clean the nail polish around your finger, otherwise the polish will ruin the design on your nail. Wait a little while until the polish gets dry and then use your orange wood stick. Make sure that everything is clean. When you want to get your finger out of the water, again use the 45-degree angle and do it slowly. You don't have to turn your finger around, I'm just doing that so you can see the design on the camera. When your nail is out of the water and you notice that there's still water onto your nail, don't touch it. Just use a paper towel, make a little point and then remove the water without touching your nail. When you remove the sticky tape, it already looks so much better. Now it's cleanup time. Remove all the excess polish around your nail with your cleanup brush and some nail polish remover or acetone. As you can see, we don't have to do that much cleanup because of the sticky tape. Because a layer of water marble polish is really thin, don't forget to apply a top coat when you're done. So I know I gave you a lot of information, but I hope it all makes sense now and that you're going to try the water marble. And if you do, don't forget to make pictures and send them to me because I really want to see them. And I really hope to see you in my next video. Bye bye!